Hi, I attended a city council meeting for the town of Bellevue. My name is Scott Holmquist. I'm a senior, well, super senior. It's my 5th year, and I decided to do the town of Bellevue because I couldn't find too many in Green Bay that fit somewhat of a financial presentation. So when I got there, it started off like a normal meeting. They had a Pledge of Allegiance. They took attendance of who was there. But they had a couple of special things to start off the meeting. They had something called it was a graduation class of the 2017 Bellevue citizens. So basically these citizens go through classes and just see what really it's like being on a council or being on the government panel for what most of these board members were. So that was pretty interesting. And then also they had a community survey where a bunch of different people from the town, I think they got 320 people to say why they like Bellevue, what they didn't like, things they could change. And one of our students, Devin Gardapi, he goes here, and he was the one who headed that up. So that was pretty neat to see. An interesting thing that I found out about their survey, which was 320 of 15,000, so they didn't get that many results that they wanted to, but they said 98% of people own their property, which was pretty interesting to me. So it's definitely you're going to buy a house if you're going to live there. And then there was one complaint that I found a little bit funny, but they complained that police are responding to scenarios from Walmart too much. So it's kind of like out of their jurisdiction and they still have to go. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The two financial things that they went through were actually pretty minor, so I didn't get to see much. But the first one was they were trying to decide how seasonal employees, how much money they would get reimbursed for their steel-toe boots. So they decided between $150 and $75, and it was just interesting to see what kind of debates these guys were having, these guys, men and women were having, and it was very interesting. You had one guy saying like, "Oh no, a good pair costs $150," and then others were saying you can get a pair just fine for $75. So that was one, and the other was they were trying to see if they could buy a GPS device that basically like can tell you everything about land. They didn't go too far into it, but their city already had one, and it was showing signs of wear and tear. So someone brought up that they needed a new one, and I think it was $22,000. So it was pretty interesting, large chunk of change going towards this. And the only question that was brought up was, do we need it? And the guy who brought it up said that they definitely do need it. So I thought it was pretty interesting to see how they deliberated what things would get passed and what wouldn't. But that was the only financial pieces that they had within the meeting. So and that was about it. They did talk about how the snowstorm affected their town. It said it cost them $36,000 to clean it up, which when you think about it, I don't think that's too high of a price. I mean, this was a horrible snowstorm. So I think they had every person with a plow out that could be out. So if you have any other questions, let me know. But other than that, it was pretty interesting. And that's all. Thank you.